Human Geography Video Chapter 12. Hi, my name is Lolita Ayala. This is Kyushu 1, where our services distributed. Services generate more than 2/3 of GDP in MDCs and less than 1/2 in LDCs. There are 3 types of services in the economy: consumer services, business services, and public services. So the first type of service is consumer services. This means to service people who can pay and need the services. So in consumer services, 4 of these main services are retail, education, health, and leisure. So retail services takes up 14% of the US, education services take up 15% of the US, health services take up another 14% of the US, and leisure services take up only 9% of the US. So the second type of services is business services. This is to facilitate the activities of other businesses. This takes up 1/4 of all US jobs. So the third service is public services. This means to provide security and protection for citizens and businesses. In the distribution of services, employees rise and fall. The service sector of the economy has seen nearly all the growth worldwide. This was most impacted by the severe recession that began in 2008. Due to rising and falling of services, the amount of employees have been changing over time. Changes in the number of employees. An example of this is in the US from 1972 to 2010, services have grown. However, primary and secondary sector services have declined. Most jobs expand rapidly in professional services, data processing, advertisement, and temporary employment agencies. However, finance and transportation jobs have declined because fewer workers are needed in those positions. Consumer services like healthcare, entertainment, education are also rapidly growing jobs. So, services in the recession. Even though the service sector is what keeps our country and other countries more developed, it is the reason for the service economy recession. Causes for this were higher retail estate prices, new financial services such as derivatives, government services to reduce or get rid of these financial services, and the unwillingness of loans given out by financial services. This not only impacted the US, but also other regions of the world. This also caused for a decline in GNI, which is gross national income. The reason this was so important is because the GNI had not declined since 1930.
The best location for a service is the one that minimizes the distances that all potential customers must travel to reach the service.
The gravity model helps explain this, as the optical location is directly related to the number of people in the area and inversely related to a distance they must travel.
The first one is the greater the number of people live in a particular place, the greater the number of potential customers for the service. The second one is the farther the people are from a particular service, the less likely they are to use it.
A periodic market is when vendors come together on specific days to sell goods and services.
Periodic markets provide to
residents of developing countries, residents of rural areas in developing countries where sparse population and low incomes produce purchasing power too low to support full-time retailing.
Geographers use a hexagon to explain the market area.
They use a hexagon because it does not overlap. Range is the maximum distance people are willing to travel to use a service. It's the radius of the circle drawn.
A service with long ranges include concert venues, sports stadium. Services with short ranges would be pharmacies, grocery stores, and fast food restaurants.
Threshold is the minimum number of people needed to support the service or business.
Not all people within a market area can be counted when determining the location of a service by considering its threshold. So, an example would be movie theaters are for younger people, chiropractors are for older people, and amusement parks are for families. Another term used for market area is hinterland. The rank size rule is a ranking settlements from the largest to smallest population. This produces a regular pattern. In most developing countries, the pattern of cities follow the rank size rule.
Urban settlements tend to specialize in one or a few specific business services. Geographers distinguish 4 levels of urban settlements according to their importance as business services providers. Global cities or world cities are the top of the urban settlements hierarchy. Global cities are divided into 3 levels, such as alpha, beta, and gamma. For example, New York and Chicago are alpha. Some businesses are located in developing countries because they tend to offer supporting laws, weak regulations, and low-wage workers.
Why do services cluster in settlements? The different types of settlements are circular, rural settlements, which are a central open space surrounded by structures like crawl villages in sub-Saharan Africa, and Jugendorf settlements. Linear rural settlements, which are a comprise along a road, river, or dike to facilitate communication. Rural settlements, settlements centered on an open area called a common. People in colonial America lived in clustered settlements. They traveled together to the New World. They wanted to live close together to reinforce common cultural and religious values, and they clustered their settlements for defense against Native Americans. Services in early settlements. Early consumer services. The earliest consumer services that were established were places to bury the dead. Early public services. The earliest public services were defenses like walls and defenders. Walls were an effective way of defense until the discovery of gunpowder. Early business services. The earliest business services was trade. They would bring objects and materials and trade with others. Urban settlements. Historic urban settlements were in the Fertile Crescent of Southwest Asia and North Africa. Urban settlements were established in 2500 BC, like in Knossos, Troy, which is present-day Turkey, and Mycenae in Greece. Urban settlements. The largest medieval European settlement served as power centers for the lords and church leaders. Growth of urban settlements. Population of urban settlements exceeded rural settlements for the first time in 2008. Percentage increased from 3% in the 1800s to 6% in 1850, 14% in 1900s, 30% in 1950, and 47% in 2000. Percentage of people in urban settlements reflects a country's level of development. Developed countries, 3/4 of the people live in urban settlements compared to 2/5 living in developing countries. Increase of numbers of people in urban settlements. Countries have a higher percentage of urban residents. Of the most populous cities are developing countries. This is between urban and rural settlements. Church size. Rural settlements are more closer and higher chance of knowing others. Urban settlements, you may only know a small percentage of people because of how many people occupy the area. City in urban settlements. Social heterogeneity. The larger the settlement, the greater the variety of people. It has greater freedom in urban settlements than in rural settlements. Individuals can find people with similar interests.